The woman accused of committing adultery does not have any identity. She is seen as an object rather than a human being. She was brought to the Mount of Olives and forced into the middle of the circle for people to stare at and judge her like a circus animal. There is no evidence of adultery being committed, no witnesses or sign of the adulterer. She has no voice to speak of for herself because women were not supposed to speak up against men. That is until Jesus came and spoke up for her. He told the Pharisees who wished to stone this woman that whoever has not sinned can be the first to throw the first stone. They one by one left this woman and Jesus alone, and he forgave the woman and told her to sin no more.
I was pulled out of bed before dawn by a bunch of random men who claimed to be followers of Jesus. They told me they were taking me to the Mount of Olives to see Jesus, and they believed that he would be the one to condemn me. I did not say a word. I followed politely, still unaware of what was exactly happening. When we arrived, I was violently pushed into the middle of the circle. I stood with my head down, afraid of what expressions I might see if I were to look up. Then he called me, saying, "Excuse me." I slowly lifted my head and stared into his eyes and felt a power come over me. There was a bunch of talk about how I was an adulteress and I should be stoned just as the word of Moses had said. What they didn't know was that I was raped by a man who had recently divorced his wife. I wasn't able to focus completely because all I knew was that I was about to be killed. He wrote in the sand with his finger my name, Ophelia. Then Jesus spoke, telling them that whoever has never committed a sin can be the first to throw the stone. I was in shock. Here was this man with so much power, yet he showed me mercy. With one small sentence, he was able to change the minds of all the Pharisees. They one by one left, and finally Jesus and I were left alone. He asked me if I had been condemned before this, and all I did was shake my head no. There were no words for what I was feeling. The gratitude I had for him was indescribable. He then cupped my face and told me how he too would not condemn me and to sin no more. I nodded in agreement, not breaking eye contact, so that he knew I was being serious. He turned, patted my back quickly, and went on his way. I was left there standing with my name written in the sand and a new life, all given to me by the grace of God. This woman, who we have now named Ophelia, can be considered a woman of faith because of the courage she had to stand in front of so many people and take what was being said. She was seen as an object with no identity because of her status in the community, yet she remained humble, obeying what was being told of her and biting her tongue. She is willing to give up her life despite being a victim of rape and to restart her life when Jesus gives her the forgiveness she is seeking. The women in A Path Appears can learn a lot from this woman. They both have been caught up in sex acts that they were not willing to participate in. Ophelia is strong because she not only has lived being a victim of rape, but then she proceeds to let others believe what they want without retaliation. She is a survivor, and so are these women. They can take their courageousness and determination to not let their past affect their future.